When you're hydrated, you're just a better person. Hey, you. So you're gonna work out, and then after you're gonna have a big bowl of Nesquik. Yeah, let's go. And that's how I talk to myself in the mirror, and it always works. If you don't know now, you know, I'm quite a picky eater. Like, I'm not a chicken, broccoli and rice gal.
Good vibes, yeah, we bottom.
I'll take you to the candy shop. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Are we ready to film? Are we ready to film? Hey, hi, how are we? Hey friends, hey kings and queens, how we doing? Are we well? Are we hydrated? Are we ready to go? Are we ready to talk about some fitness things, some weight loss things, some progress things, some things? So today we're going to be talking about what I've done over quarantine to kind of go 10 steps forward in my fitness journey as opposed to 10 steps backwards. Now, disclaimer, this is not me being like,
oh my god, I was so productive over quarantine. Like, I lost so much weight and I just made my life amazing. And like, if you didn't use quarantine to make your life better, then like, you wasted your time.
No, that is not this video. That is not my vibe. That is not, like, I'm not here to shame anyone, and I'm not here to be like, oh my god, look at me, I made so much progress. Like, no, that's not this video. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not here to shame you, but I am here to kind of share with you the things that I did throughout quarantine to keep my fitness levels up and actually increase them and like make a little transformation. Let's start from the start. As you may or may not know, I was always kind of into the gym anyway. My weight has fluctuated over the years. You know, sometimes you're more into the gym, sometimes you're less into the gym, but I love weightlifting. Like, weightlifting just gets me off, you know? So I was doing that 6 days a week coming up to quarantine. So when the gyms closed, I was like, shit, like, what do I do? And I remember hearing that all the shops were closing and stuff, and I didn't run, my mom drove me to Argos to get some weights. So I got some 5 kg dumbbells and I got a 16 kg kettlebell, which is here, but like, ugh, it's so heavy. This is my kettlebell. She's lovely in 16 kgs. I do kettlebell swings with her, and then 5 kg weights. I'm not bending down again to show you, I'm sorry. At the start of quarantine, I was actually doing my own workouts, like just making them up, like things I do in the gym that I could do at home kind of thing. And I was like, this is fine. And then I was following, and still am following, Kiki Nugent, Kiki Fit, as you may know her. A lot of you probably are watching this video to hear about my experience with Kiki. So yes, I discovered that Kiki was doing live workouts daily for free on her Instagram story, and I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant. Kiki has been doing live workouts ever since March, I'm gonna say. It's now June, nearly July. So she started doing them every single day, and I was like, oh my god, this is great. It got me like jumping out of bed in the morning. It gave me purpose. It started my day, because as you all know, we couldn't really leave our house for a while. You know, I was just making YouTube videos and stuff and like not really doing much, and I needed something to get me excited on the daily, and that's what Kiki's lives did. So that was great, that was fun, that was fresh. And then I was like, it was quarantine. So remember the whole quarantine baking phase? Like, remember my baking videos? I'll link them down below if you haven't seen them. So everyone kind of got into like a baking phase in quarantine, which was really fun. Like, love baking. I found myself, like, the highlight of my day was, what'll I have for lunch? What'll I have for breakfast? What'll I have for dinner? Like, what'll I make different? How'll I make it exciting? I was making full on like homemade buttermilk chicken nuggets for dinner. Like, full on just making homemade buttermilk chicken nuggets and buttermilk breaded chicken burgers and like all this stuff that I would never eat on the day-to-day. So even though I was doing Kiki's workouts every day, they weren't having the same benefit because I was just kind of eating food to make me excited, if that makes sense. So that's what I was doing. So I was eating food to kind of make me excited, keeping my day interested, and being like, oh my god, what'll I eat now? What'll I eat now? And the novelty wore off I was sick and tired of being like, what'll I have for breakfast? What'll I have for lunch? What'll I have for dinner? Because we were staying inside, we weren't doing anything anyway. So like cooking was being like, okay, I'm not just gonna make something regular, I'm gonna put more effort into it, you know? And I was just so fed up of trying to decide what to have, so fed up on buying all these ingredients for all these like meals that like I'd only have once, and then it was getting a lot. And then I was on Kiki's page, and she always puts up like her transformations of her clients and stuff. And one day I was like, why don't I just do a plan with Kiki? I think it's time for me to do a one-to-one online personal training plan. I've done a lot before, and I felt like it was time for me to do one. And I really loved Kiki's vibe, Kiki's energy. I felt like we were kind of similar. We have a very similar outlook, like positive vibes, confidence, all that kind of stuff. So like the more I was watching her and the more I was listening to her talk in her lives, I was like, okay, we kind of have the same mindset. I like her, and I would be quite picky with who I'd use as a personal trainer, just because in the past I had a personal trainer who was like, okay, so you're eating chicken, broccoli and rice. I was like, sorry, what? Chicken what? Chicken, broccoli and... Honestly, the memories come flooding back and I have PTSD. Like, I'm not a chicken, broccoli and rice gal. No. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna link up with Kiki. So that was great, and I started the week after my 26th birthday. So how I went about it, I'm basically going to break down how I went about it for anyone who has never got maybe an online training plan before and doesn't really know what to do. So I messaged Kiki on her Kiki Fit coaching page. I'll put it here and I'll link it in the description. And I was just like, hey, I want to do one-to-one PT. How do we sort this out? So she took my email and she emailed me like all the details, saying like I'd be so happy to have you as a client and all this kind of stuff. I don't want to go into too much of the details because obviously every personal trainer is different, and obviously as well I don't want to give away Kiki's business, or I don't want to talk about things that are personal to her business and personal to her clients that pay her, if that makes sense. So I did that. She gave me a form to fill out, like all my foods that I like, what kind of workouts I'm used to doing, like my lifestyle, what do I want, home workouts or gym workouts. And obviously it was home workouts because we can't go to the gym because the gym's closed. So I did all that, and I think I sent it off Saturday morning, like my finished form. And she had my full plan back to me Saturday night. So she had the full plan back to me Saturday night, and she was like, look, read over this and we'll start you on Monday. So that was great. We started that Monday, and I was just so happy with the food, because if you don't know now, you know, I'm quite a picky eater. I've actually gotten better. Like, I like mushrooms now, which is a big thing for me, and I have mushrooms every day because I'm obsessed with them. But I'm quite a picky eater. I'm not very adventurous. I don't mind having the same thing every day. I kind of like that. I like the routine of it. I like knowing what I'm having. I like taking the guesswork out of food, because if I say to myself, oh my god, what would I like for dinner, my mind can go to anything, like, oh yeah, because I can cook. So that's what was happening in quarantine. Like, I was trying to cook myself these extravagant dinners that were like really high in calories, which is nothing wrong with them, but when it's quarantine and you're moving less and you're eating more calories than you're used to eating, and you're not going to the gym 6 days a week like you were before, you know, so it wasn't working. I'm not going to tell you exactly what's on my food plan, because obviously, number one, it's personal to me. Everyone's different. Everyone needs different calories and macros and everything like that. But I will say that, like, I have Cocoa Pops every day on workout days, or like Nesquik, or like Cocoa Pops and Nesquik kind of have the same calories, so it's the same thing. I don't have to track. Like, she literally has everything worked out for you. You just have to weigh it. I know how to use my MyFitnessPal, and I'm fond of my MyFitnessPal, so it doesn't bother me. Do you know, say if I, like with the Cocoa Pops, if I want Nesquik instead, I can just swap it out. I have Nutella, I have like spaghetti bolognese, I have potatoes, like white potatoes, I don't like sweet potatoes. I have protein shakes just because I personally like protein shakes, but initially protein shakes weren't actually on my plan. I had to ask, which is a good thing, because I feel like sometimes when people think they're starting a fitness plan, they're like, oh my god, I'll have to like buy all this protein and buy all these supplements and buy everything, and like you don't. So that was great. So I started the plan, and I will put my before picture here. Lovely. So I started that 8 weeks ago, just over 8 weeks ago now, and I basically was working out 4 days a week. I had 3 rest days, so my calories on non-rest days were about over the 2,000 mark, which is good, you know. It's a lot, like you don't have to starve yourself, and obviously depending on your height, your weight, your age, everything that fluctuates. So don't go saying like, this girl ate 2,000, I should eat 2,000. Like maybe you need a little more, maybe you need a little less, I don't know. I'm not your personal trainer, honey. I was eating over 2,000 calories on training days and just under 2,000 on non-training days. So my training days were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and my non-training days were Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have a check-in every Saturday. So every Saturday then I have Kiki on WhatsApp. So if I need to ask her any questions or anything, I can just WhatsApp her. And then every Saturday morning I send like my photos, so a picture of me from the front, from the side, from the back, my measurements. So I have a measuring tape, I don't know where it is. I have a measuring tape, so I measure like the smallest part of my waist, my thighs and my hips, and I send that off. And then every Saturday that I've been training with her, I have made progress. So either my numbers in my measurements have gone down, the photos you can see an obvious difference, or the weight. But it's very important to, you know, do all of those things, because there's no point just measuring your progress by one thing, especially if that's weight, because as girls we fluctuate. Like I think it was my first or second check-in with Kiki, I got my period and I was like, great, like water weight, like love that for me. So every Saturday I check in, and then she'd message me back and she basically says, have whatever you want for dinner, like off the plan. So every Saturday then I have like, I had Thai food, Chinese food, burger and chips, pizza, like anything I want basically for dinner. I don't have to track it, I don't have to, nothing. Some people would call that a cheat meal. I just don't like the whole term cheat meal, just because in my opinion it has negative connotations, because it's like you're cheating on something, and then it associates food that isn't on your plan as negative because the word cheat is in there. So I don't personally call them cheat meals. I just say I have whatever I want for dinner that isn't on the plan, and that's how I say it. I'll put the before and after actually just on the screen now so you can see. This is the progress that I made in 8 weeks. I lost, I think it was 5 kg overall in 8 weeks, but obviously my body composition is changing, like you can definitely see in my waist. My waist always shows my weight loss first, like always. And I think my legs are a lot more, not toned, but they just have a lot more definition to them. I don't particularly have like a size that I want to be or a weight that I want to be. I just know that I like feeling strong. I like eating on plan because it makes me feel good. Like working out with a personal trainer and having that level of accountability and making progress in, you know, in weights or feeling more fit or being happier. That's how I measure my progress. I don't, like, I've never said to Kiki I want to be X kg, or I've never said to Kiki I want to be size whatever. Like, that's not where my head is at. I didn't do this to be a certain size. I don't, because like I think it's pointless, because if I said to Kiki, okay, I want to be 60 kg, like how am I supposed to know what I'm going to look at like when I'm 60 kg? Like, why does that number matter? I'd rather say I just want to make progress, and you know, that's what I want to do. I want to be strong, I want to be fit, and I want to be happy, and working out every day or most days makes me happy, and knowing that I'm like, I feel better when I'm eating the food on my plan. A few weeks ago actually I had a Chinese, I think it was last week or the week before, for the first time in like 6 months, and that's the MSG. Just, my face was like a balloon after the Chinese, and I just felt shit, and I was like, ew. And that's not me saying like don't eat Chinese food, it's full of MSG, like telling you what to do with your life. Obviously you can do whatever you want. This is my life, this is what I'm choosing to do. It's not yours. Does that make sense? Okay. I have absolutely loved doing the 8-week plan with Kiki. Like, we'd be having the chats, like sending WhatsApp like voice notes on WhatsApp. She's so motivating. Like, if I'm ever feeling like shit, or even one week I remember I was like, oh, I got my period and like I feel shit and I feel watery and I want all the food and I just you know, when you have your period, you can relate. And she's just so, I feel like she's very like me in a way. Like, she's so positive, she's such a little ray of sunshine, and like, she's very motivating. She has never said to me, okay, you need to lose this much this week, or she's never said to me, okay, we need to get you to this weight or to this size. Like, that's not what she focuses on. She really tailors it to whatever you want and your goals, which is fabulous. And I really like that, because I'm not the type of gal to be told like, okay, you need to lose 2 kg this week, or oh, you didn't lose that much this week, that's not good enough, or like, oh, it was your dad's birthday this week but like you went off plan, like that's not good enough, like you obviously don't want it. Because at the end of the day, I'm not training to be a professional athlete. I'm not training for a body competition, like nothing like that. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, I want a 6-pack. Like, I don't have professional athlete goals. So I think the very important thing with Kiki and training with her is like, it's, and I know this is going to sound like cliche and a broken record, but it really is a lifestyle thing for me especially. So I'm just adding it in to part of my lifestyle. And I feel like, you know, when you're paying a personal trainer for something like a one-to-one fitness plan, it really gives you like something to work towards and accountability. Like, I know I have my check-in every Saturday. I know how much I paid for the last 8 weeks, and I actually joined on for another 8 weeks because I want to make like insane progress. And insane progress to me and insane progress to you might be 2 different things, you know. Insane progress to you might be one thing, but I just, like, especially during quarantine, I know my head is happier and my mental space is happier when I'm working out, when I'm eating right, when I don't feel shit about myself. Yeah, Kiki has just helped me to stay accountable during quarantine, and to, like, I know what I want and I know what my goals are. For me, if I was to, you know, not work out during quarantine and just eat whatever I want and be like, like, that wouldn't be self-aware of me, because I know deep down what my why is. That's not me saying like, oh, if you didn't work out in quarantine, you're lazy. Obviously, all these things, like a global pandemic affects people so badly. And like, if you didn't work out during quarantine, it's absolutely fine. No one is forcing anyone to work out. But for me personally, and for my goals, I know what I want. So I made the decision to get Kiki as a personal trainer so that I could continue working towards my goals and keep my head happy during quarantine, because I knew in my heart of hearts that if I didn't do that, I would feel so shit. So that's what I did, and I think that's it. I might put a little question box on my Instagram story now and see if anyone has any questions. I just asked for questions on my IG and people are coming through very quick, so I'm happy. So one person said, how quick did you see results? I saw results, I'll put a picture of week 1 here and then week 2, maybe week 1 and week 2 beside it. I'm pretty sure there was results straight away. I think taking photos is a great way to see results. And I mean, you know, sometimes you won't see results maybe straight away, or like, how do I say this without sounding like patronizing? So basically, you know when you start a fitness plan and you're like, okay, I want to do this for me, I want to feel better on myself, like I want to do this for my health, like whatever your reasoning is. Obviously it's great to see results, and the first week my measurements dropped, my weight dropped, and I could see in the photos, but I wouldn't get too hung up on looking in the mirror and like looking at your body and picking at bits and being like, I don't see any difference, or I don't see anything happening, because you know, when you're working out, it's all about, in my opinion, feeling stronger, feeling better in yourself, feeling more fit, and obviously it's good for your insides and it's good for your mental health. Like I started seeing results straight away in the way I was like happier, had my meals, so I didn't have to think about that, which was amazing. And yeah, I saw results pretty much straight away, but it depends what results you're looking for. Like you're not going to start a workout plan and wake up the next day and like look like a totally different person. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And also it's about how much you put into it. You know, if you follow the plan that your personal trainer gives you, you're going to make progress. Like they know what they're doing. The whole thing is like, you know, it's all trial and error. They might give you a plan the first week and they're gonna have to see how your body reacts, because they've never worked with you before. They don't know exactly how your body works. So what my advice would be is to be totally upfront and honest, like about what you're doing. Did you do all the workouts you were supposed to? Did you eat the food that was on the plan, or like what happened? And the more honest you are with your personal trainer, the more they can help you. I kind of went on a bit of a tangent there, but anyway. Someone said, what were the treats you could fit in? My plan wasn't restrictive at all. As I was saying, I had Nutella every day. I had Nesquik or Cocoa Pops after my workout. I had spaghetti bolognese. I had a little Freddo bar. And then obviously every Saturday she just said whatever you want for dinner. When you have a plan that's really balanced, you don't crave like chocolate or like anything like that. And I don't think as well eating chocolate is bad. Like I think if you really want chocolate, just have chocolate, because if you don't, you're gonna end up like eating like 20 bars of chocolate and then feeling shit. You know, you can be upfront and honest and be like, look, I love having a bag of potatoes every day, and see then can Kiki fit that into her plan. Like she's not the type of PT to be like, okay, well, you're not eating anything, you're eating chicken, broccoli and rice cakes. That's not her vibe. Someone said, is it flexible to fit into everyday life, especially with normality returning? Absolutely, like so flexible. I think everything's a priority in life. So, you know, everyone has 24 hours in the day, and I feel like if anyone says they don't have time to cook or they don't have time to get a 30-minute workout in, like you do. So unless you work a 16-hour shift and then get 8 hours sleep, you have time to make your meals, you have time to work out. And that's not me being patronizing, but like if you think about it, if you sit at home and watch Netflix or watch YouTube like you are doing now, or scroll on your phone, you have the time. And that's just me being honest, and that's just my opinion. I feel like if you want to make something a priority, if you're going to pay for a one-to-one personal trainer, you're going to make the time because you are going to prioritize it. Also as well, if you are really strapped for time, there's so many like meal companies that like you can just buy ready-made meals from. If that's your vibe, I don't really like ready-made meals. Ugh, they kind of freak me out. So yeah, I would say it's very flexible. And like also Kiki, like if I told her I was a nurse and I did this, I'm sure she'd tailor it more to that lifestyle. I'm very lucky in a way that I would have been unemployed. So anything I have been doing from home, like making YouTube videos or anything like that, like my days weren't busy, let's just say. Then someone said, what was the food plan like? So as I already said, the food plan was very nice because it was full of foods that I like and I enjoy and I eat. You know, she didn't put like onions on it or bananas or any food that I don't like, because in the thing you're asked what foods you do like. Like I was never starving, I was never felt like I wasn't eating enough, like none of that. And then someone said, was the training difficult? I didn't really find the training difficult just because I'm used to weightlifting in a gym, and also I've been doing Kiki's lives. She gives you a training plan, and then all the exercise, if you click it, it brings up the video on exactly how to do the exercise. And also you can ask her like, oh, I don't know how to do that or whatever. So I don't think the training was difficult. I think day to day, you know, on different days you feel different levels of motivation. So say like today, I did not want to work out. I was like, no, I don't want to work out. I don't feel like it. I'm tired. I feel lazy. I don't feel like working out. But what I did was, Kiki does lives every day, so I wasn't doing one of her live workouts, I was doing my plan workout, but I put on her live in the background, so it's like motivating, or else I put on like really motivating music. Get into my gym gear, and I just talk to myself in the mirror, and I'm like, you're just going to do this because you paid this much for a plan, because you obviously want to do a plan, because you obviously want to make progress. So if you want to do these things, you have to be self-aware in this moment and say, Rebecca, like, shut off your emotions. Like, you're not, like, I wasn't emotional, I wasn't anything. I was just like, man, I don't want to work out, like being lazy. It wasn't like anything was stopping me. So I just kind of talked to myself in the mirror, and I'm like, hey, you bought this plan. You spent money on this plan. You want to work out. Deep down, you know you want to work out and you want to do this. So you're gonna work out, and then after you're gonna have a big bowl of Nesquik. Yeah, let's go. And that's how I talk to myself in the mirror, and it always works. Talk to yourself, lads, it's brilliant. Someone just said, is there a variety of foods every day, i.e. dinner? For me personally, I don't care if I eat the same dinner 3 days a week, like 4 days a week, like I really don't care. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I kind of have the same thing. I do switch it out. So say like it might be mince and pasta, but I know I can, because I'm able to use my Fitness Pal, I can swap out the pasta for potatoes if I want, or a wrap, or you know, you can make it flexible once the calorific values are the same, I guess. Since my updated plan now, Kiki has gave me 2 options that I can choose between. So I'm sure if you're the type of person that like likes to eat something different every day for dinner, she can do that. I just don't really care. Like, I'm happy out eating the same thing. Like, once it's food and I like it, I don't care. Like, I'm not like, oh. So 4 days a week then, which are training days, I'd have the same dinner. And then Friday I have my non-training day dinner, Saturday I have whatever I want for dinner, and then Sunday. So it's kind of mixed up. Like, it's not like this, like I haven't been eating the same thing for dinner for the last 8 weeks straight. But I'm not the type of person that kind of cares. But if you were, I'm sure you could just ask her. Also, what I would recommend doing is making sure you're drinking enough water. I know everyone says that, and like, water is not like a magical thing that will make you make amazing progress, but when you're hydrated, you're just a better person. Your skin glows more, you're happier, your insides are functioning better. Water is key. Hydration is key, folks. Hydration is key. Remember that, remember that. Hydration is key. Someone said, is it worth the money? Really want to do it, but I find it pricey. I think it, like, I feel like everyone has a different budget and everyone makes different amounts of money and everyone justifies their spending differently. So, you know, I'm not making a fortune at the moment. I am unemployed because of coronavirus. We love that for me, woohoo. But I don't spend loads of money on clothes online. I do buy skincare stuff and stuff, but I was like, okay, however much it was, because I don't want to promote, or I don't want to, you know, give out anything about Kiki's business. That's her business. If you're interested, you can email her and find out the price. But I broke it down in my head and I was like, right, that's 8 weeks, so that is X amount a week. I was like, what would I spend that much a week on? Do I have enough money coming in to spend that much a week on personal training? And then in my head I was like, yes, I have that much money. Like, I have X amount a week when I broke down the 8 weeks into per week. say her training was 80 euro for 8 weeks. Now it's not, obviously, like no personal trainer one-to-one is going to be 80 euro for 8 weeks, but say it was, that would be 10 euro a week. Now in my head, I'd be like, okay, do I have 10 euro a week? Yes or no? So say the answer is yes. And then you go, okay, can I justify spending 10 euro a week on a one-to-one training plan? Like how much do I prioritize it? How much do I want it? And then I'm like, okay, I really want it. I know it will be good for me. I know it will keep me happy. I know it will keep me accountable. So I value it a lot. So I put a lot of value on it so I can justify spending the 10 euro a week on it. So you kind of just have to do that for yourself. In my opinion, yes, it is very worth the money that I have spent because I know I'm making progress. It makes me feel accountable and it keeps me happy knowing that I'm working towards a goal. I didn't have a gym since March. I didn't have any of that stuff, and I feel like if I didn't do the one-to-one training with Kiki, I wouldn't have been accountable, and I probably just would have kept making buttermilk chicken burgers, you know? And not that there's anything wrong with them, but I just don't want to be eating them every day for dinner, you know? So I do think it's worth the money, in my opinion, but I feel like money is so subjective, and so you have to just justify it to yourself and just be like, A, can I afford it? So that's a simple yes no question. If you can't afford it, then you need to look for a cheaper option, because if you can't afford something, I would never promote putting yourself into debt for anything. You know, maybe just save up over the next few weeks until you can. If you're out of work at the moment, like it's really tough times. I don't want to tell anyone that they have to get something if they can't afford it. But if you can afford it, it just depends on how you value things. So what do you value more? Do you value buying new clothes every week more? Do you value going out for food or getting takeaway every week more? Do you value buying skincare more? Like, and I'm not judging anyone and their values. Like everyone values and prioritizes different things. But for me, I valued this more than, you know, maybe buying more skincare or getting more takeaway or anything like that. Like it was at the top of my value system. I think I've kind of covered everything that I've been doing over the last 8 weeks. I do feel better in myself. I do feel happier, and I do feel like, when you're putting effort into doing something for you every day, no matter what it is, no matter if it's drinking enough water, moisturizing your body, getting out in sunlight, getting some exercise in, meditating, yoga, watching something that makes you laugh, like whatever it is, when you're putting effort into doing something every day that makes you happy and you know makes you feel good, you're going to feel good and you're going to feel like you're making progress. You know, there's always more than one way to make progress. You don't have to work out if that's not your thing. You don't have to get a personal trainer if that's not your thing. You don't have to track calories and macros if that's not your thing. But once you know in your heart of hearts that you are happy and you are content with what you're doing, and you know what you're doing is the best for you and makes you the happiest, then I feel like we can't have any problem. And I feel like when you're really self-aware and you know what you want, you know your goals, and you know how you're going to get to them, then that's all we can do. Like, we can't put this massive pressure on ourselves to be perfect and to be like everyone else. If I wasn't the type of person that liked working out, and if it didn't make me happy or if it didn't make me feel good, then I wouldn't do it just because other people were. And I feel like if you came to this video looking for a quick fix, or if you came to this video looking for, you know, a tip-top secret on how to lose however many pounds in 7 days, that's not what this is. Like, that isn't what I'm talking about. And trust me, I was the gal who googled like how to lose this. Like, I used to sit in my bed at night time when I was younger, when I was in school, when I was a teenager, and I'd calculate I'd know my weight, and I'd be like, right, I want to lose 30 pounds, say, and then I'd like Google how to lose 30 pounds fast, and then all these fad diets would come up and all these exercises, and you'd be like doing crunches in bed and not eating carbs and all this bullshit. It's just bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, but it's all bullshit. Like, you don't need to lose weight quickly. You don't need to make progress quickly. Like, you just need to do little things every day that help you work towards your goal and keep you happy. You know, there shouldn't be a pressure to be a certain size, to be a certain weight, to be a certain anything. Do you, make you happy, be self-aware, and know what you're doing. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, guys, please give me a big thumbs up. If you have any more questions about working out with Kiki or doing a personal trainer or anything like that, you can comment them down below. Of course, here is Kiki's Instagram, her website. I'll link all of her bits down below. She's been a really great help to me, and to be honest, I think I've made a friend during quarantine. Like, we have great chats, and I feel like we're on the same wavelength, so that's great. She also has a YouTube channel actually, which she's gonna start posting videos to, so I'll link that below too. I feel like it's always good to promote people that you find helpful, and that's what I'm doing with this, okay? If you want me to do another update in another 8 weeks after I finish my second round of 8 weeks with Kiki, definitely give this video a thumbs up and I can do that for you. So anyway, yeah, if you have any other questions, if you want me to do more videos like this, definitely give a thumbs up. If you are new here, if you are new to my channel, hey, hello, hi, welcome. My name is Rebecca Short. If you like my vibe, do not forget to click that subscribe button. Like the video if you want to see more videos like this, more fitness kind of content. I don't want to be a quote-unquote fitness influencer or anything like that, but being active and being fit and being healthy is a part of my life, so I guess I can do more content on that if you want. I want to make a video where I talk about sports bras and like my favorite sportswear, so if you're interested in that video, definitely thumbs up this video. Comment down below what you enjoyed, comment down below what made you happy during quarantine. It doesn't have to be working out, it can be anything. Just comment some positive vibes down below, because we love the positive vibe. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I hope you're well, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.